Okay, so this video is a video of me attempting to make some stencils and a stamp out of some old, not old, but some packaging that I got out of a Faber-Castell texture cards. As you see, I'm holding it up right here. It's actually, the part of the package that, you would normally throw out. But then I saw these two pieces, and then I thought that I can make some stamps or or a stencil out of it. But right now, what I'm showing is the texture cards itself. That's the item that came in the packaging. And what I'm holding up now is the packaging that was actually inside of the package itself of the texture cards. So with this piece that was inside of the package, it has these little plastic things. They were actually down. I lifted them up. So I thought maybe I could just like cut them off. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna cut them off, and I'm gonna go off camera. Right now I'm just showing how I cut it off, and then I'll go off camera, so you don't have to watch all that. So now here it is, all cut off. Those are the little pieces. I thought maybe I could attach that to something and make a stamp out of it. And here's the other piece of packaging that was inside. I'm out of frame, I'm sorry about that. But now I think I'm back a little bit in frame. But I'm cutting off the edges, as you can see, because I realized that if I was going to use that as a stamp, those edges, it's curved upward, so I wouldn't be able to get the part of the packaging that's actually bubbling out, that's bubbled out, for lack of better words, to stamp. So now I'm about to stamp. I'm going to use this Distress ink pad. I think this is a bit dried out, but that's because I don't use it that often. But I'm gonna find out how to get that working again, because I know it's a lot of ink in there. But anyway, but it's doing something. So I'm just using my stamper to ink the page through the stencil. So we'll see how that comes out. Sorry if you hear someone in the background, it's the fan. See, I think that came out really nice. As the video goes on, you're gonna see that I tried to use acrylic paint with it, and it sort of like leaked through a little bit on the sides of the stencil, but I still was able to get a pretty good image with it. But now I'm using that other piece as a stamp. And then I realized that inside the part that's puffed out, there's also some indentation, so it's not going to make like a really strong impression. But it does something. See? Where you see that it's light, that's the part of the plastic that's indented in. So it didn't make that good of impression. So now I'm going to try to use acrylic paint. I'm putting a little bit of water it down somewhat. Had to put a little bit more. It was just too watery. So now I'm going to ink that up. The only thing I don't like about using acrylic paint on the stamp, to me, it's like it dries so quick, and I don't think I got that good of an impression because it was still it dried. I don't know, maybe I just didn't put enough paint. It got something on there, but it really wasn't a lot, and I think it had a lot to do with that I was trying to be sparingly, but at the same time put enough so it wouldn't dry out, and I don't think I really got that all together. But what I did was I just sprayed some ink, acrylic ink spray that I made on this homemade stamp, and then instead of flapping it down, I actually put the other side of the paper on top of it, and it made a small impression. And I'm going to try it again. This time you see I'm wetting it, which I noticed that water got inside, and now I think I'm going to flip it over. I'm just trying different things. It doesn't hurt to try. It made an impression, but then again, it's watery. But I'm surprised the water that was inside the little spaces on that homemade stamp that it didn't leak out onto the page. I found that interesting. But anyway, I turned it back on, so now turned it back over. So now I'm using the black stays on, and I want to see what kind of impression that makes. By going this way, because I'm thinking I could easily press the paper down on it versus, turning that stamp over. It's a little impression there, but I'm thinking it has something to do with the ink pad on that on this homemade stamp. Maybe it's not the best, but here I noticed that I'm going to get a better impression, and I noticed that I'm thinking too, I think it's the juiciness of the pad. I think that stays on pad wasn't that juicy. I think it was kind of like dried out. It's not dried out all the way, but for this technique using this homemade stamp, I don't think it had enough ink on it. So now what I'm doing is I'm going through the stencil. I really like the stencil because I don't want it to be a headache, me stamping. And not to say that I won't use that homemade one, the one that looked like a tic-tac-toe. But I guess if I know the stamp is juicy and it has a lot of ink, maybe a brand new stamp, I would use it with that. But for a stamp pad that doesn't have that much ink on it, I'm going to think twice because, the purpose of this is to have fun. I don't want to be a frustration level trying to get something to work. That is not my forte with this at all. It's fun, it's therapeutic, and it's not supposed to be stressful. I'm trying to make things work when it's really difficult. I mean, it's okay to try to make things work, but not to extreme where it's like taking me out of fun zone. So now, as you see now, I'm stamping through with some pink acrylic paint. And by this time, as I was doing this, I realized that I really like just using, not just using, but I really like using the stencil more than the stamp, the homemade stencil. And so I figured I just have to keep my eyes open for when I get packaging to see if it's something that I could use in my mixed media art instead of buying stencils only. I will still buy stencils because there's some things that I see that I just like, and I'm going to buy it if I have the money to buy it. But then I realized that I can also build my tools, my supplies, by looking out for things that come in the mail and things around the house. So that's a good thing. So I have a variety. So it's coming to a close now. So as you see, what I'm doing is I'm just trying different colors now with the stencil. That's some scrap paper that's falling. I tend to any ink I have on the side, I just try to, or paint, I just try to put on a piece of paper that I can use later in a piece of art. Yeah, so I really like that. Right now, there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just actually just testing out the stencil. So I'm probably eventually going to do something with this card or cut it up or something. But right now, it's not like I really am thinking, oh, I'm going to do something with this card right now. Just trying out the techniques. Yeah, so. So now I think I'm trying yellow. Yeah, I'm doing yellow now. As you can see, the pink, it leaked out a little bit. That's because that sponge was wet. So when I was dabbing it, it was seeping underneath a lot. So I understood that. But I also, I remember that when I used that brown distress ink, I think that was what, vintage photo, something like that. And I used the stamper, the inker. It was really good. No problems, no leakage, nothing. If it's too watery, it'll seep under. Other than that, it's cool. So that's just the play card, the test card, to test out the stencil and the stamp. And yeah, so basically that's it. Now I'm just showing you the tools that I made again. And like I said, try different things, and sometimes trash can actually be treasure in disguise. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Bye bye.